Oh, yeah. All right, let's keep this show going. Your next comic, he's fucking hilarious. Give it up for Seth Allen, everybody.
Clear the streets out.
Give it up for Zachary, everybody. Or not. Fuck him. Yeah, get the fuck out of here, you fucking cute kid. Fuck you. We hate you. We're all old and washed, and you remind us of our wasted youth. All right. Joe in the back. He likes that. All right. Hey, everyone. How you doing? I had a really cool moment. I got recognized as a comedian by a mailman. Yeah. No, that actually happened. That's not a joke, sir. How dare you? No, I was out on a walk. His mailman was like, "Hey, aren't you a comedian?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, I saw you yesterday. I was like, "All right." He's like, "I only remember you because you were wearing the exact same clothes." And my brain was so dumb, I still thought I was getting a compliment. So my reply was, "Thanks for your support." And then he moved on, and I just I was fuming because I got roasted by this mailman, right? So I went back to the same place the next day at the same time, and there he was. And I said, "Hey, aren't you a mailman?" "I only recognize you because I saw you yesterday. You're wearing the exact same clothes." And he said, "But why are you still wearing that shirt?" Fucking terrible. I have to move. All right. I want to get a feel for you guys here. I know you hate Zachary. Do you hate all the youth? Yes. Okay. Across the board, we're all on board. We hate young people in this room. Okay. Just the levels. I used to be like you. I lived by a high school. I get so mad at the teens always buzzing around my neighborhood. But then something happened to me. One of these kids just changed my whole perspective on the whole generation. One day, my wife, she picked up a pizza on her way home from work and got the pizza home. And it turns out the teen boy who made her pizza left a note for her and attached it to the inside of the pizza box. So she saw it when she flipped it open, and it said, "Hey, you are sexy." Right? Call me. And this kid put his fucking phone number on the inside of the pizza box. It blew my mind. I respected that. It's a bold move. It's clever. It's very audacious. I'm like, hey, this generation is, I like that. I like that they did that, And we just kind of laughed about it. But then as I started thinking about it, I was like, actually, I'm going to text this boy right now. You know what I mean? I kind of want to teach this kid some manners. All right? And so I wrote him this text. And I said, "Hey, just found the nice note that you left for my," all caps, "wife. I hope I get that same kind of service next time. When I come in," winky face. And I sent it. And I felt pretty fucking powerful. I could just imagine this little boy was so scared because a grown man just texted him this vaguely threatening text out of nowhere, you know what I mean? And my wife thought I made it up. She's like, "Yo, you didn't actually send that boy that text." I'm like, "No, I did. He's terrified." I was like, "Look at this. There's the number. There's the text." I'm showing her my phone. This kid FaceTimed me immediately. It was a FaceTime. And I was too scared to answer. So I told my wife, "You gotta fuck this kid. He's awesome, all right? Please fuck this kid." It's fine. They're very happy together. I get to watch sometimes. It's cool. I've been married a long time, a weirdly long time. I've been married 14 years. And no, that's not. I didn't say it was good. I'm just kidding. I don't know why I say that. It's fine. All right, 14. There's been a weird through line from our first date all the way till now. The same thing always happens in our relationship is when we go out together, people never think we're a couple. We get separate checks at restaurants. We get our groceries separated at the grocery store. People think we just can't possibly be a couple because my wife is black, and I look like I might have a problem with that. So, especially when we fight in public. Oh, people hate that. They don't want to see this. They don't want to see this argument. No, we get into a fight in public, the phones come out. You know what I mean? I'll just see people just start slowly raising their phones up. Oh, shit. What's this cop about to do? We gotta protect it. We got in a fight at Fred Meyer one time, and we forgot where we were. Thought we were at home. She forgot who we are when we leave the house, and she called me the N-word. All right, and yeah, you feel that tension in here. Imagine how that bread aisle felt that day. It came out of nowhere. We were going fine, and we were pushing our cart, and I just said, "Oh, I'm gonna go get the Cheez-Its real quick," and she goes, "No, remember you're bad at picking out the Cheez-Its, so you're not allowed to pick out the Cheez-Its anymore." I was like, "All right, we're gonna have a fight right here about this, because there's no way I'm bad at picking out Cheez-Its. I get to pick out the Cheez-Its, all right? I'm a man." And so we got in an argument, and it started kind of half joking and then turned kind of real, and we were both raising our voices, and finally she had just had it. And she goes, "There are good boxes, and there are bad boxes, and you would know that if you didn't always dip yours in ketchup like a trash." And then she called me the N-word and just walked away. And I was like, all right, Tuesday, you know. Thought nothing of it. And then I looked up, and there's only one witness. It just happened to be this really old black man who happened to be pushing his cart right towards us as the argument built. And I know he heard what she said, but I could not tell how he felt about it, right? He gave away nothing on his face. Right? And then as he was rolling by me, he just leaned in really close, and he just went, "Stay strong, brother," and just kept going. I was like, yes, all right. That's solidarity. That's what we need. She's also, my wife is 10 years older than I am. Yeah. People make a big deal about that, but it's like it works perfectly for us because I need to be with a more mature person. Right? And she needs help with her computer. So it's like perfect. Right. She's also, I grew up in like deep, like rural Oregon, and she grew up in Brooklyn, New York. And that actually like helped our relationship a lot because it's still going. Like we can just blow each other's minds at any time with just basic facts about how we grew up. Both of our upbringing seem incredible to the other person, and it is just we always have something to talk about. She just told me the story. She forgot about this when she was a little girl. Her and her sister were at the mall. And outside the mall, this guy was selling his demo tapes or whatever, and he convinced them to buy one of his demo tapes, and they went home, they listened to it, they're like, "Oh, this is actually pretty good." It was Notorious B.I.G. Right. And I was best friends with a chicken. So no, the one that really blew her mind was she can't get over when I told her we did line dancing in school. Like we line danced a lot at my school. Like I remember even in English class, every day we would just push the desk to the side and we would all just start line dancing, and it felt totally normal to me at the time. It's weird now as an adult. I get that, and for my life skills, it's weird because you're like walking around. Like I can get down, turn around, and go to town. All right, but I can't read, so I can't do it. I don't know. We also are very different with how we think about animals. I notice that's a big like rural city, how you were raised divide is how do you think about animals, right? Because like to her, animals were like your friends. They're like something you see on TV, or they're like pets or something. And to me, animals were just like edible terrorists. Like you had to fight them all the time, especially dogs. Like I'm fine if I see a dog. Portland's a very dog-friendly place, and if I see a dog, I have time to prepare mentally for the dog. I'm great with dogs. But if a dog sneaks up on me, that's like just a little boy country synapse just starts firing, right? And it gets weird. One time we were at a nice restaurant, right? And a dog wandered up to the table from like the side. This is Portland, a nice restaurant. There's a dog in there, of course, right? This dog wanders up, and I didn't see it coming. It came up right up from the side, and I just snapped. I just went, "You get home!" I was like covering my neck, like that's what you get. And the whole restaurant just stopped. Oh. Even the dog was like, "Fuck, go to therapy, bro. Jesus Christ." All right? But it paid off when we started dating. So you grow up in a really small town. It's weird when you move into the city. So like I stopped talking about it, but then she mentioned when we were dating, like, that when she grew up, she was a horse girl. Like she loved horses. She had posters of horses up in her room, right? But she never got to ride a horse. New York City. Her favorite childhood memory was she got to pet a horse in Central Park one time, right? So she's telling me this, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm about to blow your mind. I can get you on a horse." And she was like, "No way." I was like, "Yeah, I can get you on a horse." I called up my friend. We went out to his farm. she got to ride a horse for the first time in her life. And they gave her like the oldest, nicest, like this is the oldest, sweetest horse on planet Earth, right? And she's riding it, and this horse can barely walk. And it was just like kind of just like slowly lumbering like in a little circle. But if you could see her face, just pure bliss. And I wish I could have froze that moment in time just forever. Because as soon as she got off of that horse died. And that's also when I noticed not everyone has seen a horse die before. It's very traumatic if you're not expecting it. It comes out of nowhere. And has anyone here seen a horse die? Yeah. Okay, well, we'll all learn something tonight. When a horse falls over, people who are around horses, they know the main chance you have to save that horse's life is to get it back standing up on its hooves, because that'll keep its heart going, right? So when a horse falls down, people rush to the horse. They're trying to get that horse to stand up by any means necessary, because that's how you save that horse's life. She didn't know that. So from her perspective, what happens is she gets off the horse. Horse falls over. Then a bunch of people rush in and just start kicking the shit out of the horse. And she's like, oh my God, they're killing him. I'm like, no, they have to do that. They're trying to save their horse's life. Do you actually know that saying, to beat a dead horse? That's not true. That's, I told her that was where that saying comes from. There's a long ride home. I have had a bad health run for like the last year. It started, I just thought it was a cold and it just wouldn't go away. And then I started like hearing like a crackling come out from my throat. Like when I would breathe, I would hear like a crackle, like in my lungs or something. So I just went straight to a Zoom care, right? And the doctor told me I had pneumonia. And that scared the shit out of me, because when I was a little boy, I actually lost my best friend to pneumonia, right? It was in the Oregon Trail video game, but still, it was my wagon train, and I took responsibility. We buried Andy right outside of Chimney Rock. It was horrible, right? And the doctor said, no, it's not that bad. It's walking pneumonia. And it's walking pneumonia is not that bad. They call it walking pneumonia because you can still like walk around, right? And it sounded so good to me, so I just use it for everything. Like I have walking HPV. You know that? It's not so bad. I do have running IBS. That's true. That's cheesy. Right. And so the doctor gave me some meds, and I was asking him a question. I was like, "Oh, should I take these like at morning or night?" He's like, "Doesn't matter." I was like, "Full stomach, empty stomach, doesn't matter." I'm like, "Should I not drink alcohol when I take these?" And he said, this is a real quote. I mean, technically. And that's when I realized a Zoom care doctor is a doctor the way a substitute teacher is a teacher. You know what I mean? Like they've never seen you before, but they do the same job technically. Technically, all right. I went to the doctor because I just couldn't sleep. It was getting so bad. I thought I would just get sleeping pills or something. And the doctor told me, oh no, you're just bad at going to sleep. Like you don't need pills. And I was like, what do you mean? And they told me to try this. 10-3-1. Has anyone heard this? It's no caffeine for 10 hours before you go to bed. No food or liquid for 3 hours before you go to bed. And no screen time for 1 hour before you go to bed. I did this one time, fell asleep hard, right at 5:30 p.m. That's right in the middle of my drive home from work. All right. And then the one thing, and then the doctor was like, oh, and another thing, only get in your bed to sleep. Like, only use your bed for sleep. And I was like, okay, but what about, and the doctor's like, she was like, okay, I'll stop you right there. I know what you're going to say. And yes, you can still have sex in your bed. I was going to ask about the kitty cat forts that I make for my cats, all right? I turn the pillows up on their side, and I put a blanket over the top, and then I invite my 2 kitty cats to come in, and we chase each other around through the kitty cat fort for an hour every night. It's our routine, all right? But now I can't ask that because my doctor thought I was worried about all this ass that I'm slamming. My doctor thought I was slamming so much ass, I can't sleep at night. So then you can't bring up the kitty cat fort, you know? So now I just don't know. I'm still doing it. I I do have 2 cats, and I love them to death. Is any cat people? Are you any of you guys cat people? That was sad. As a cat person respond. What about dog people? Any dog people? Why is it always like this? I don't consider myself a cat person. I think it just gets weird if you over-identify with your pets. I don't know. Like I was going to a Blazers game and I had to take my phone out and for the security guard to look at it, and there's a picture of my cat. And the security guard saw it. He grabbed my phone. He stopped me and he goes, "Oh, hold up, everyone. We got a cat daddy right here." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "We got a cat daddy right here." And I was like, "Well," he goes, "It's okay. I'm a cat daddy too." I was like, "Can you stop saying cat daddy? All right? You're making it sound like we fuck these cats. All right? And we don't do that. That's dog person stuff. All right?" I got one cat, one of my cats I got more recently above board through an adoption, like the whole thing, the way you're he's an ethically sourced cat, all right? The other cat I got during the height of COVID, and he is not an ethically sourced cat. It was when I tried to go to the shelters. Nobody has said this, but remember when the shelters were sold out of cats at the height of COVID? Like nobody has said this, like that's how out of our minds we are. There's the only time in human history there was a shortage of used cats. Like people were hoarding broken down cats in their house, right? And so I had to go to Craigslist, and I got this cat. I had to meet him at the parking lot of a condemned Burger King at 10 p.m., $20 cash. The guy gives me the cat. He's in a paper sack. And I loved him to death. His name's Cosmo. He was a year and a half old at the time. Tuxedo cat, cool cat. I loved him immediately. He immediately was trying to kill me every night of his life, right? And it came to a head because like we were bonding and stuff, but he just would have these violent outbursts, and any movement under a blanket, he would just go insane. And one night I was home alone. It was late at night. Cosmo came into the bed. Cosmo attacked my dick while I was masturbating. That's what I'm trying to say. It was blood everywhere. All right, and a little cum. All right, and so I got him into the vet. I told the vet about this, right? And the vet was like, "Please stop showing me the pictures." I was like, "Okay." And the vet's like, "Well, this is what's happening. His balls have come in. He'd never been to the vet before." And so the vet was like, "I will, neuter him. Or I'll take his balls off." And I was like, "Well, that sounds like, I don't want to just go to cutting balls. Can you go to like an anger management class or like something else? Yeah, that seems extreme, And the vet's like, no. I'm like, I don't want him to change like his personality or anything. And the vet was like, no, he'll be the same guy, all right? He'll just be more content, and he'll sleep better, and he'll eat better." And I was like, damn, how much for the both of us? So it's a joke about how I got my balls cut off. All right, give it up for Zachary, everybody. That's it for me.